Hello, my name is Jacob Frew. This is the first negative constructive of the debate. First of all, if you are listening to this debate or watching it, I'd like to say thank you for following along and being informed about this kind of stuff. Like I said, first negative constructive of our debate. I want to get into what I have written down and what I need to share with you guys. So basically, one disadvantage of getting rid of these set of rules in place right now, I'm going to relate it back to the real world, is with a pandemic going on, how can we eliminate the health-related grounds during this emergency crisis? COVID, especially here, people in California, we are just dealing with rule changes left and right, health requirements. And just to think, if we had international borders that didn't have a set of rules in place that, change and adapt to the world with COVID, what's going on right now. If we didn't have a set of rules in place, helping people and preventing people to get this illness or catch it, it would probably be even worse than it is right now, which is hard to believe, but it could definitely take a big toll on what's going on right now. So basically, the whole purpose of this health-related ground system is the medical grounds of inadmissibility, the medical examination of aliens, and the vaccinations administered to aliens are designed to protect the health of the United States population. The immigration medical examination, the resulting medical examination report, and the vaccination record provide the information the U.S. uses to determine if an alien meets the health-related standards for admissibility. And I'll get into vaccinations and the steps further down. But I kind of want to give some background of why this is in place and why this is very important to have in place. Public health concerns have been reflected in the U.S. immigration law since the Immigration Act of 1882. Among others, persons suffering from a loathsome or dangerous contagious disease were not allowed to enter the United States. In 1990, Congress revised and consolidated all of the grounds of inadmissibility and narrowed health-related grounds of admissibility to include only aliens with communicable diseases, physical or mental disorders with associated harmful behavior, or those with drug abuse or addiction problems. And as of 1996, Congress requires all immigrant, visa, and adjustment of status applicants to establish that they have been vaccinated against certain vaccine-preventable diseases. So even since then, 1996, seems like it's outdated, but it's really not. There just has been nothing. I mean, up to now, obviously, with the whole COVID thing, but nothing up to this point that has made us change or do anything. There's been no problem with it, and it's been working for over 2 decades. So the role of Department in Health and Human Services, because medical knowledge and public health concerns can change over time, Congress gave the Department of Health and Human Services the authority to designate by regulations which conditions make a person inadmissible on the health-related grounds. Some of those conditions, if we want to go over, it's 4 basic medical conditions that may make an applicant inadmissible on health-related grounds, and these are the only 4 that are on there. It's communicable disease of public health significance, failure to show proof of required vaccinations, physical or mental disorder with associated harmful behavior, or drug abuse or addiction. Those are the only 4. It goes into in depth under those 4 categories, but if there's anything else outside of those realms, it's this Department of Health related grounds doesn't really deal with it, and they don't like to be the bearer of bad news or be the guys that treat these immigrants badly at the border, as sources may say, or something like that. But although people are treated unfairly, we need to take necessary steps and necessary precautions / force, especially, like I said, in times like these. We need to be able to, administer vaccinations to these people. We need to be sure that these people have these vaccinations. And if we don't do that and don't do a good job of that, us as Americans can be affected by it. And it's beyond our control, kind of like the whole COVID thing didn't come from here, but it was beyond our control. Luckily that we have these set of rules in place, we prevent a spread from south of the border for us Californians. That is very, very important. So I kind of just want to dive in and explain more about what this health-related grounds system entails. It's kind of more rules and what this is really about. So if we're talking about medical exams, so information about the health of an applicant for a visa is acquired through a medical examination by an authorized civil surgeon who must perform the exam to the specific guidelines published by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. An applicant's own admission is not sufficient to uphold a finding of admissibility on medical grounds. The determination must be based on the medical examination that is required by certain persons seeking admission into the United States. 4 groups of these people are required to get medical examinations under the immigration laws. It's visa applicants, refugees, status applicants, including asylees and non-immigrants in the following circumstances. So if you really look at all of these rules in depth, and as I'm explaining them, they have really looked into every possible scenario and outcome. And one thing I kind of want to end on before I go into my last point, just saying, getting rid of all of this stuff that we have worked on for so long over the past, I mean, shoot, it goes, like I said, dated back to 1882. If we got rid of this stuff going back that far, are we going to start from scratch? We absolutely cannot do that. There's just so many different things. Yes, changing a law and making a new amendment or something like that is crazy, and it takes a while. But look at all this stuff we already have in place and already have set up for people, that need answers and seek answers. Or what do I need? What is this? What is that? It's all right there for these people, easy at their fingertips, especially with how technology is improving. I think it's even easier to follow these rules and guidelines when traveling abroad and doing different things, and etc. I mean, there really shouldn't be a reason to why we get rid of this, and there shouldn't be a reasoning to why somebody is struggling as long as they don't deal with those major 4 conditions. Like I said, to hammer that nail down, it's communicable disease of public health significance, failure to show proof of required vaccinations, physical or mental disorder with associated harmful behavior, and drug abuse or addiction. With that being said, I'd like to thank you for your time. That was the first negative constructive. And yeah, thank you for listening and tuning in. Thank you. Hello, just wanted to add a little bit to the end of the video. Realized I didn't have my sources cited. This is first one, visalaw.com/health-related grounds of inadmissibility. And the second one, being where the big chunk of the information came from, is the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, where you can find the health-related grounds at this website is uscis.gov/policy manual, volume 8, part B. Thank you so much.